I read the signs in passing cars, reflections bending who we are. Time moves sideways when you stay close enough to drift away.
We don't say it out loud,
but the silence knows how. We're still moving in the afterglow. Hands let go, but the signal holds. Every shadow learns our name. Still moving, not the same. After the glow, neon slips between our words, promises that never burn. I don't chase what I can't see, but it cheats on following me.
we don't need to define
what keeps pulling us inside. We're still moving in the afterglow. Every beat says don't let go. Every night rewrites the frame. Still moving, not the same.
hold the moment
Before it decides. Not the same. After the glow, I'm starting to sweat a little bit, but I'm keeping my cool. Heat on skin, eyes don't blink, pulse up high, mind stays thin, tongue on fire, posture still, let it hit, bend don't spill. Pressure talks, I don't rush. Let it burn, I stay sharp. I keep my cool, under flame, still in frame. Still my name, I keep my cool. No display, let it play, I don't sway. Salt on lips, breath is slow. Signal loud, ego low. Every bite cuts the room. I respond, not consume. Body screams, mind decides. I don't leak what's inside. I keep my cool, under flame, still in frame. Still my name, I keep my cool. No release, no retreat, only ease. Control is known, it's staying present. Pain is a question I answer clean. Still here, ask again. He can try, I don't hide, I don't fight. I keep my cool, let it rise, let it die, sigh out loud. Sweat
Anyone. Clock with no hands. Door half open.
I'm already sitting.
You're mid-sentence.
I took the chair with the better view. Leather cracked where the doubt leaked through. You point left like it matters who gets to measure the angle of truth. 11 ways to divide a room. Ladder leaning toward altitude. Swinging the cord like childhood proof. Stool in the middle for self-abuse. You say it's neutral, I say it's staged.
Oh, hey.
Every position is slightly caged. Choose a seat, choose a side, choose the height where the masks align. Pick a tone, pick a theory, tell me which version sounds most cheery. I'm already where the ceiling bends. You can sit if you want to pretend. Beanbag posture, collapse and grin. Tiny chair says shrink within. Rocker hums like a looping sin. Door frame whispers don't begin. Ladder says climb above the frame. Swing says float without the blame. Floorboard quakes in a different name. None of us leave the same.
Choose a seat. Choose.
Wheelie's a symmetry. Diagnose the irony. Choose a seat, choose a skin, choose a version you're walking in. Pick a frame, pick a cherry, sweet illusion, temporary.
Choose a seat. Choose a skin. Choose a
Javira. 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 A bee doesn't waste time explaining honey to flies. I used to waste my oxygen talking in circles again and again. Every argument smelled the same. Different face but a different name. You love the noise, you love the fight. You chew on garbage every night. I try to show a sweeter way, but flies don't care what bees might say. Why am I shouting at the wall? Why do I kings and digital roars. Everyone shouting truth so loud, standing proud in a buzzing crowd. But wisdom moves a different way. It builds the hive, it makes the day. Some minds want the sugar high, some want the garbage pile nearby. I see the pattern crystal clear. Energy's golden, time is dear. You chase the stink and call it wise. I'll make honey while you argue with flies. Don't explain honey to flies. Don't waste truth on hungry lies. Be the bee and let it be. Not my swarm, not my tree. Don't explain honey to flies. Let them buzz in their disguise. Make your gold, let sweetness rise. Don't explain honey to flies. Energy is currency. Spend it where the sweetness grows. You can shout across the sky, but flies still love what the garbage knows. So I'm done explaining light to creatures worshipping the night. Don't explain honey to flies. Don't waste truth on hungry lies. Be the bee and let it be. Build the hive and set it free. Don't explain honey to flies. Let them drown in their disguise. Make your gold, let sweetness rise. Don't explain honey to flies. Be the bee. Be the bee. Let the flies eat what they see. Not my mind, not your why, not your hand inside my head. You sell panic by the pound, crown to come is broken dead. Every scream becomes a sermon, every whisper wants control. They prescribe us off to prison, I can feel it in my skull. You dress a lion, lack cold language, bless the blade and call it care. Trade a question for compliance, dose of beatings in the air. But I can hear the static smile and see the pattern in the glue. You want the rule inside my head, I locked the door before you knew. Pressure building, teeth on rail, red light blinking, truth for sale. Every signal, every nail, wind it tight, I will not fail. I'm due to use your abuse. You used to loosen the noose I choose. You lose. Cut the feed, refuse the fuse. Not my mind, I choose you. Call me crack, call me comic, call me foil, call me gone. Then 6 months later, leak it quiet like you knew it all along. Every creepy little warning grows a body, gets a name. Every joke becomes a document, every ash revives the flame. I don't need your holy optics, I don't need your curated cage. I can feel the edit shifting when you try to write my page. Them they the other guys, same hand wearing different gloves. Still reaching for the switch inside the fear they market love. Houses racing, black sky hums, boot heel rhythm, chewing gums. Count me out, here it comes. I keep mine when the siren drums. I'm due to use your abuse. You used to loosen the noose I choose. You lose. Cut the seed, refuse the fuse. Not my mind, I choose you. You used to loosen the nails I choose. You lose. Breaks a Feel that shit, feel the beat don't miss. Heart raging when the bassline kicks. Hands go up when the flow boy is right left. Sing now, move like this. Feel that shit, feel the beat don't miss. Feel raging when the bassline kicks. Hands go up when the flow boy is right left. Sing now, move like this. Step in the pocket, groove too slick. Halftime bounce with the full-time grip. Whisper tone words with the band I spit. Right each tap when the hi-hats tick. Go, feel that shit, feel the beat don't miss. Feel that shit, feel the beat don't miss. Like this. Arps climb, step, 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 descend. Filters open, bend, extend. Bass grows low to high, no end. Pressure builds, no break, no bend. Hold that breath, now lean out, shift. Beat comes back with flow, bro, lives. Baseline curls like a titan fist. One more hit, you can't resist. Shift. Feel that shift, beat don't miss. Shift. Feel that shift, oh, man. Feel that shift, the beat don't miss. Feel that shift. Feel that shift, repeat, feel that shift, go. Yeah, go. Yeah, go. Yeah. How I did. Calling. Llamada fuego. I've been walking through the static, feel the signal in my chest. Every step a little louder, every breath a little pressed. No panic, no drama, just heat in the frame. Zapatos en llama, I'm calling your name. Paso lento pero firme, nunca pierdo dirección. Fuego en la suela, ritmo en el corazón. No es suerte, pulso calibrado en la misión. Cuando digo que sube, ya subió la presión. I don't rush, I align. Every move by design. Feel the bass in your spine. Now you locked in the line.
Calling in the flame. Llama my name.
Zapatos en llama.
Say my name. Llama fuego.
Calling, don't say no.
Zapatos en llama.
Feel that pressure, let it go. Pressure up, no release. Body lock, mind at peace. Slow burn and it spikes. Ride the wave when it bites. Fuego sube, no control. Todo vibra en el low. Cuando entra ya lo saben, no hay vuelta, just go. Quiet now. Still calling. Sigue. Don't stop.
Calling in the flame. Llama my name.
Zapatos en llama.
Say my name.
Fuego, call me back. Never front, never lag.
Zapatos en llama.
Now the signal don't crack. Llamada. Calling. Fuego. Walking through the static, feel the signal in my chest. Every step a little louder.
louder, every breath a little press. No panic, no drama, just heat in the frame. Zapato saying llama.
I'm calling your name. Paso lento pero firme, nunca pierdo dirección. Fuego en la suela, ritmo en el corazón. No es suerte, pulso calibrado en la misión. Cuando digo que sube, ya subió la presión.
I don't rush, I align every move by design. Feel the bass in your spine, now you locked in the line. Calling, calling, calling in the flame. Llama, 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 llama name.
Zapatos, zapatos en llama.
Say my name.
Fuego, fuego. Call me back, never front, never lag.
Zapatos en llama, llama.
Now the signal don't crack. Llamada, llamada, llamada. Fuego, fuego. Yeah.
Them boys ain't right.
Hey, chat. Hey, Steven. Hey, everybody who's not there listening to us right now. It's another day of Them Boys Ain't Right T-Bar. Make sure you subscribe, like, and follow us. Steve, what's going on today?
Well, big news in the frozen tundra of Buffalo.
Yeah?
I broke down and decided to be a working part of society today.
No, say it isn't true. What happened?
It's true. I'm going to take a part-time tour guide position.
Oh, no.
So over at Niagara Falls.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like a 2-hour walking tour.
Wow.
Group of people. And they made me an offer I can't refuse.
Oh, no.
Hey, this is what, though. I've decided, because I have to take a test for the city, with history and dates. And I don't think very many are multiple choice. So I actually have to study.
Yeah.
I thought I could get away with, hey, Davy Crockett took a piss over there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to work. I got to get 80%.
Oh, no.
But,
so there's
yeah.
we might want to keep this this show going, because just in case that falls through, at least you have this job.
Oh, well, yeah. I suspect I'll be home by 4:00 every day. So
yeah, that's cool, man.
Being that this is an evening show, I think I can catch up.
Yeah. Well,
So what's been going on with you? I know we had a little break due to unforeseen circumstances, but everything going okay?
Yeah. Everything's pretty good on this end. Yeah. Still, producing 3 podcasts. You know how it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But watching the news a lot. Trump's supposed to be changing the schedule on THC. Supposed to be. That's what I keep hearing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, I've heard this kind of talk before, but of course my feed is a buzz, if you will, with all the weed memes and the jokes and and the news and that kind of stuff, and THC, CBD.
Well, I'm always interested in it from the point of, at least from the point of marijuana.
Mhm.
I was trying to think a long, long time ago, I think in the 70s, like Alaska, although that's a small population, did try it, and then they declined it later on because they thought it was bringing more problems than it was helping.
Mhm.
And I think initially, maybe when Colorado, legalized, or some of the other states,
Mhm.
it kind of flooded those 1 or 2 states that, made it legal in the state to get flooded by everybody who wanted to, live the hippie life. I call it hippie, of course, not in the 1990s or 2000s rather. But yeah, I did bring some unsavory characters to small towns. I think, like, say you have a little tourist town in a beautiful spot in the Colorado mountains,
Mhm.
and then you get flooded with some homeless people who are there for the alternate weed lifestyle.
Mhm.
and some of the shop businesses weren't too happy.
Mhm.
But what I don't know is in a big city if that makes a difference, and 2, does that offset the money that the state makes in taxes?
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand it makes a lot.
Lots of great questions floating out there, you know?
Certainly New York has decided to, I think since last year, has made it legal.
Mhm.
I remember I went to an outdoor concert and my stuffy old butt, it was a rock and roll concert. I'm not that stuffy, but I went out there and I was like, I'm smelling weed everywhere. These people don't care.
Yeah.
And then I just realized, oh, of course, anywhere someone can smoke a cigarette, you can smoke marijuana. So
Right.
it just catches me even, by surprise here and there.
Mhm.
I'm not against it. It just catches me by surprise.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then maybe some places I would, like maybe a child swimming pool or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Next to the fifth graders, a big green cloud. Yeah.
Front of the daycare center or
Right.
something like that.
Hey, in
So
front of the Quality Leering Center, perhaps.
I thought it said learning. But before we get into things serious, did you see that thing on Afro Man?
Yes,
You
I
watch
did.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I thought the way
And then the
he
video he did.
defended himself and what he did. Said they broke down my door. I had to make the money somehow.
Yeah.
I'm glad he won that case.
They're famous too.
Yeah.
Those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going on lately in that? You mentioned changing classes. I'm not all that familiar
Oh.
with the different classifications
Well, you know
of different
what?
drugs.
Before we jump down the rabbit hole of switching, classifications on the Controlled Substance Act,
Mhm.
hey, why don't you Google? Hit the interwebs. Google why is marijuana illegal?
Well,
I mean, I would do it, but I'm controlling everything else over here.
Yeah.
We don't want my system to melt down like it.
yeah, I get,
The government
Yeah.
knows we're talking, and they're starting to send the gremlins over. Yeah.
why was marijuana?
I mean, we should start this like from the history of it, not from like what we think right now. I think,
Yeah.
we need to be a responsible show, Steve. I believe.
No, I thought you had those answers.
No,
Well,
I
now
do,
look.
but see, that's me talking. Let's reach back in history. Let's see what was, and
Meryl-
then let's
I
come
got-
forward. Yeah.
Mar- I got it.
You got that? You got that timeline? How I'm setting that up right there? You got that?
Marijuana was made illegal in the United States primarily due to a combination of racism.
Uh-oh, not racism. Okay.
This is the first word.
Oh, what's the source? What's the source you're quoting?
Xenophobia,
Okay.
economic interest in yellow journalism.
Yellow journalism.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me see if it clarifies any of this.
Yeah.
In the early 20th century, that's in the 1900s
Okay.
for some of you, rather than solely on scientific evidence of harm. Oh, okay. So it was more of a social construct that made it illegal over actual scientific evidence of harm.
Trust the science.
Just a strange way of leading into all that.
Yeah.
Cannabis was used for medicinal and industrial hemp for centuries prior, and its criminalization was accelerated during the 1930s, fueled by anti-Mexican sentiment and a desire to control minority populations.
Wow.
So that has, because I'm using whatever Google's AI is,
Mhm.
a reference probably to the University of C, which is probably University of Columbia,
Okay.
if I had to guess. Take it back. University of Chicago.
Okay.
I thought only New Yorkers were crazy enough. Racism and Xenophobia, 1910s, 1930s. Following the Mexican Revolution of the 1910, a surge of Mexican immigrants entered the U.S., bringing with them the cultural practice of smoking recreational marijuana.
Oh no.
Targeting minorities. Media and politicians link marijuana to Mexican immigration, capitalizing on fear and prejudice to push for restrictions. I don't see them do that with avocados or tequila. I don't,
Yeah, you know,
I don't know what's
I
going on.
wonder
with
if that practice has ever been done in the future since what you're reading.
Trying to think.
Like, so immigration happens, and then I guess what would happen in yellow journalism, journalism would turn around and look at the immigration and then make the problem from the immigration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Newspapers published sensational stories claiming marijuana caused insanity, violence, and criminality, particularly targeting white women, specifically the white women.
Can't target those white women.
No, now they're Karens. Reefer madness.
Yeah.
Culturally, this sentiment was amplified by propaganda films like Reefer Madness, 1936, which depicted teenagers falling into madness and addiction after using the drug. Man, was that Half Baked?
No.
There's a ton of movies like that.
Yeah, that's the 90s Half Baked. That's a good
yeah. Cheech and Chong.
Yeah. Cheech and Chong.
Marijuana Tax Act of 1937. I'm going to shift through some of this because I don't want to read everything. Linguistic shift. Anti-narcotic officials began using the term marijuana, a slang term, rather than cannabis, to disassociate the drug from its medicinal and industrial applications. Act of 1937. So it looks like a bunch of stuff's going on in 1937. The act did not technically ban marijuana outright, but it posed a heavy tax and absurd regulations on its possession, sale, and transport, making it functionally illegal. I think, and I don't know what the prices are, from the local shops. Heck, there's one 2 blocks from my house now. Compared to, is there still a black market for it? Like, let's say it's legalized and it's $50 for, I don't know, a fingertip of a bag of weed or whatever it is in measurement. Did that create now someone that can grow some Toledo window box out their window and sell it for $20 for the same amount? I don't know. Is that a thing still?
Oh no, that sounds really dangerous, Steve.
It's got to be. People are undercutting, right? You could get thrown in jail for it.
Absolutely, there has to be a black market to any what we would consider normal market. Think of sports jerseys and and tennis shoes. There's a black market to sports jerseys and tennis shoes. Undercutting the retail, selling it on the streets. Taking the official logo, intellectual property, violations, and then So of course there's going to be under or black market weed or whatever. Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if our good friends China didn't have the same bag, slapped Louis Vuitton on it, had some excess, threw another name on it, or some bags left over. It's all probably the same quality, same zippers.
Do you remember
one
that
is
from
$500, one's $100 purse?
Yeah. Do you remember that from Korea?
From Korea, yeah. Well, I remember cheap blankets, and I don't really remember like watches, the Bolex watch or whatever.
Yeah. Where were you in Korea? I forget.
I was in a little town called Tongdushan up in the north.
Okay.
I was near the border.
Okay. So you were not.
I didn't have the Seoul life.
Yeah. So I was in Seoul, as you know, and Itaewon, the hill that goes up in Seoul.
Yeah, I went once.
So you remember the stores and everything on the sides?
Not really. I went at nighttime.
Okay. Of course. Up the hills.
Well, they gave me a pass for like one day or something.
Soju Kettle by any chance?
Pardon?
A soju kettle by any chance?
Probably.
Yeah, probably many. Anyhow, when you're walking up the hill there in Itaewon, on the sides of the streets, a busy street, there's all these little mini shops, and a lot of them sell like NBA jerseys and NFL jerseys. And I don't think the NFL and the NBA sanction the sale of those on that street in Itaewon. You know what I mean? And by that little store, maybe.
Yeah.
But I also happen
Yeah.
to have firsthand knowledge that in Korea that there was a lot of black market items, such as buying from the government and reselling on the Korean economy. So like the government, the U.S. government doesn't get hurt, but the Korean government gets hurt with no tax and on a lot of stuff. So you saw a lot of that black marketing kind of stuff, but you also saw the black marketing of intellectual property items such as NFL jerseys and that kind of stuff. So, Steve decided to jump off, but I'll bring him right back, guys. Fret not. Hopefully he'll figure out that he just popped off because you guys don't want to sit around and listen to me talk about Korean jerseys and that kind of stuff. But I will. There he is. He's coming back. Steven is... Technical difficulties. Now I think he's screwing with me, everybody. It's like he's popping on and off. Okay, let's try this again. I see. This is stupid. There he is.
Yeah, I got like 12 screens of you up here on my end.
Holy cow. Yeah, you just tried to join like 6 or 7 times, didn't you?
I haven't touched anything. I'm waiting on you.
You were just sitting there waiting on me? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because from my perspective, you just went away, and then I'm trying to bring you back. I'm trying to look to see if you'll come back in. There you go. It shows you gone again. This is not good. This is not good for a live show. All right, there you are. Oh, geez, what the hell? Steve, if you can hear me, log out of Streamlabs, log back into it. Can you hear me, Steve?
I can hear you.
Okay. You're back again, but I have a feeling you might be dropped again for some reason. But anyway, if that happens, protocol, log out of your Streamlabs, come back and join again. I think that's seems to work with other podcasts.
Okay. I'll give it a try.
Well, no, not right now. You're still here.
No, not.
Yeah. But whatever we were talking about, I'm sure it was about weed or something we were talking about earlier.
I think it was about what I want to say, the counterfeit in Korea.
Right. That counterfeit stuff in Korea. So to get that long answer back to, yes, of course, there's going to be underground and black market, both legal and designer drugs and synthesized,
Yeah. So, in a nutshell, I would summarize it pretty much with a societal pressure to use media and law and everything else to negatively impact people's desire to use the drug marijuana, at least recreationally.
Why? Why would a government want to tell its citizens don't smoke marijuana?
Maybe there was an inherent belief that it would be bad for the nation.
Well, then why use opium during the 1800s and drink alcohol?
Well, I don't know if it was legal or illegal back then. I can see Doc Holliday doing it.
Yeah.
But,
Okay, leave the opium out of it. That's a very specific thing right there. But drinking alcohol, why promote the drinking of alcohol to your citizens then?
Well, I imagine that it was influenced. The government was influenced by tax money,
Sure.
and once it was prohibition hit, and
Sure.
everybody was making money left and right
Mhm.
from the speakeasies and
Sure.
underground bars and whatnot,
Sure.
that they were able to pay for the right kind of people to vote yes.
Okay. Now,
And I think culturally too, right? If you look and say how many people came from Germany, how many people came from Ireland, how many people came from London, Europe in general, who are used to drinking wine, beer,
Mhm.
or whatever spirit that they liked back then.
Mhm.
Uh, that was also probably from early on an American culture that probably still persists today. If I had to guess, for alcohol culturally, U.S. would probably be, I don't know, number 2 or something like that. England would be up there. Germany would probably be 1 or 2. Spain and Italy would probably be 3 and 4, at a guess.
Hmm.
So I think, all those people coming over, that they've had beer since the Egyptian times. So
Well, that beckons a great question. How long has cannabis been in use in humanity? Forget USA right now. Let's talk about the world. How long has cannabis been used? I know alcohol has been around for what, in different forms, tens of thousands of years.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, I don't know about tens of thousands, but
Well, the Egyptians
certainly,
made like a mead kind of thing, didn't they?
yeah. I was thinking more like 2,000 years ago, but not quite 10. But
Well, the Egyptians, like ancient Egypt, when were we talking about? Isn't Egypt like 10,000 years just in and of itself? Oh, well, let's not get into the history of Egypt. Let's look at.
You're right. It's already 2024, so 2,000 years before Christ was born. I would say that they had invented alcohol by then.
Okay, so we'll agree that probably for 4,000 years or more, there has been some sort of fermented beverage that humanity drinks for various reasons. I assume the primary reason is to become intoxicated. That's the primary reason. I can't imagine it's no. It's all tastes. It's all other effects. It has to be to become intoxicated is the primary reason to drink any form of alcohol, I would argue, right?
Sure.
Okay. So that's an individual saying, I want to become intoxicated, and whatever that means to everybody. If it means change your state of mind, and it means lower the pressure of life, if it means whatever, I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah, I assume that. I don't know if it was used like, I don't trust the water. Going through this process. I'm pretty sure it was.
That's a heavy process because you have to invent alcohol.
I'm pretty sure because you wanted to, like the Vikings wanted to drink and do what Vikings do.
Tell me the last person you heard in your lifetime say, I drink alcohol for the taste. Now, I just said that, I drink alcohol for the taste. No other reason. I drink it for the taste. When have you ever heard anyone say that?
I think depends on the alcohol.
No, I'm asking
For
you
instance,
when you've heard somebody say that.
I can't remember somebody just saying it, but I can see people.
Of course, I can too. I'm asking, but we're going for empirical evidence of talk here. Like, no. I know 10 people in my life that drink it only for taste, and they'd never get drunk.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm expecting, something like that,
Yeah, you're having a margarita at the Mexican restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying everyone drinks alcohol to get drunk.
Right, okay.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying everyone drinks alcohol for some sort of intoxicative effect. It could be a buzz. It could be,
I've never had someone, but I think some of it's social too. Someone
course.
might have a beer
Yeah.
to sit around so they don't feel awkward, like they're the only ones that doesn't have it.
Absolutely. So could you Google that? Because I need you to be the Googler.
Okay.
And the question is how long has humanity been using, say, you can say cannabis is probably the right term, I would argue.
Yeah. It's cannibalism? Cannabis.
Yeah. How long has humans been eating humans? I'm going to guess it's thousands of years.
Well, I didn't know if it's a geographical thing either. That's what I want to
Well,
look,
that would
like,
be the next question. And then where has
Mm.
cannabis been used? Because I'll bet it's been used a lot in Europe and the United States. I'll bet.
All right. Humanitarian has a relationship with cannabis that stretches back about 12,000 years,
Well,
making
there you
it
go.
one of the oldest cultivated crops. While it is most famous today for its psychoactive effects, its historical use began primarily as a source of fiber, food, and medicine. So, here's something. Domestication 10 to 12,000 years ago. I know the north up here was covered in a 2-mile ice cap at
Oh,
that
wow.
time, 10 or 12,000 years ago. That's how the Great Lakes were formed, but I regress. Archaeological and genomic evidence suggests cannabis was first domesticated in East Asia, specifically modern day China. Early humans used its strong fibers for ropes, textiles, fishing nets, and consumed its seeds as a high protein food source. So,
Yeah.
I guess it wasn't just in Mexico. It started
No,
in
no,
China
no. Of
and was
course
brought
not.
over.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not.
Ancient artifacts in Japan, pottery shards with hemp twine impressions have been dated to roughly 10,000 years ago. So the Japanese were in on it.
Okay.
Ancient Egypt, 2,000 years before Christ, cannabis was recognized. Oh, I'm sorry, ancient India, as one of the 5 sacred plants in the Vedas, often referred to as sacred grass. You know, if yellow journalism or yellow news, if they would have called it sacred grass back then, maybe, maybe it'd be legalized today.
Who knows?
Ancient Egypt, 1550 before Christ. Eber's papyrus lists medical cannabis for treating inflammation,
Mhm.
sore eyes, and even as a suppository for pain relief.
Wow.
Ancient Greece, 500 BC. They talk about the Scythians inhaling hemp vapors and steam baths for pleasure and ritual.
Okay.
So, it's been associated with humans for quite a while.
Okay, we can't argue with that. So alcohol and cannabis has been associated with humans for thousands and thousands of years. Okay, fair. I got an idea. Let's bring it more current. Google how many people died from alcohol consumption in 2025 and how many people died of cannabis consumption in 2025. Let's see what the death rate is on the two. Because that's the only reason I can really see why you'd be like, protect the kids, do this, do that. I'm not saying
Well,
kids should use it. I'm saying that's why.
I'm afraid to even put the marijuana in because it's probably going to be 0.
Well, we
but
have
I
to go
will.
for the evidence, Steve. We can't
How
assume.
many died? THC or just marijuana?
Well, what words do we want to use here? We've been using cannabis. They say that humanity's been using cannabis. They didn't say it's been using marijuana. You gave us a briefing that marijuana was a constructed word by the U.S. government, right? Isn't that what you read earlier?
That's what the University of Chicago came to the conclusion of.
Okay, well, someone came to the conclusion, who wasn't us, that the term marijuana was constructed by the U.S. government.
Oh man, 95,000 to 178,000 annually.
For what? Weed?
Marijuana. Yeah, that's
Die?
crazy. Okay, maybe that's alcohol.
Oh, you got me. I was like, wow, that is a lot for marijuana. Yeah.
So it says late 2024 to early 25.
900?
Alcohol-related deaths in the U.S. remained high, with estimates often following between 95 and over 178,000 annually.
Oh, 95. Okay.
While alcohol-induced mortality shows signs of declining from its 2021 peak.
Well done.
That's,
Yeah.
is that when Van Halen? I don't know who was
I
a
don't
big
know.
band in 2021. It remained roughly 23% higher in the first quarter of
what wasn't the big
2025.
vid? Wasn't the big vid during 2021 or 2020 to 2021 and alcohol consumption shot up?
Oh, yeah, I bet. There's a correlation. I was like, well,
I think I've heard that correlation. I
Yeah.
don't know it's true.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah. People were not happy then.
I'm just going to go to the garage and get stoned. All right. And I knew this answer.
What's the answer?
Marijuana. There are no reported deaths directly caused by marijuana overdose.
Okay.
We know. And other research monitoring mortality data in 2025. While marijuana use is linked to other risks, such as emergency room visits for edible consumption.
There you
That's
go.
what I was thinking of the THC.
Yep.
What if you had too many of those Mountain Dew THC bombs?
Yep.
But yeah, edible consumption, but hasn't caused an overdose.
Well,
so people probably get a little sick from it.
Yeah.
From the goomies or whatever.
What gets you high from it then? What alters the mind in cannabis when you smoke it or eat the gummies?
THC?
Well, what is THC?
I don't know. Tetrahydrochlorine, something like that.
Oh, we have to be precise, man.
Yeah. All right. So I'll put in what?
You want me to start? I got my the thing's working now. I can start searching and I can bring up the web.
You
want me to do that?
Sure.
Let me bring up the intrawebs here. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm just typing away.
So
I want to make sure it says cannabis and not cannibal.
There it goes. So let's do what is THC? So tetrahydro. Okay, you gonna read it? Or you want me to?
No, go ahead, please.
Okay. Tetrahydrocannabinol, I think I said that right. THC is the primary psychoactive compound in cannabis responsible for the quote-unquote high or euphoric sensation. It works by binding to cannabinoid receptors CB1 and CB2 in the brain and nervous system, mimicking natural endocannabinoids that affect mood, memory, appetite, and pain. So you literally have receptors in your body called the cannabinoid receptors that the plant binds to, the chemical THC in it binds to. So, whoops, sorry. Keep that up.
See something here about it releases dopamine,
right?
The feel-good hormone that creates the feeling of euphoria.
Right. So what happens when you drink alcohol?
I think it restricts blood oxygen to your brain, and the effect of that is you get a feeling of happiness for a while.
Okay.
And then it could shut off the oxygen to your brain, maybe.
Yeah.
It certainly affects your motor functions, stuff like that.
Sure.
In general terms.
Isn't it funny? You've been drunk so many times, but you can't chemically explain what's happening to yourself.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Well, that's because I don't want to know.
Exactly. We never want to know. And you don't have any alcohol receptors in your body, as I'm aware of.
No, I don't think so. I think if we had to look, it would be something more along the lines
I'm pretty sure
cutting off oxygen or something.
I'm pretty sure that let's see, I'll just say what is distilled alcohol, because that's what we drink, right?
Uh, or fermented alcohol,
Here, let's do.
maybe.
I'll start at distilled alcohol or spirits. There
I think
is
distilled, I kind of think of like vodka,
right, right,
and then fermented, I kind of think of like beer,
right,
wine.
right. That's exactly where we're going. So we know that distilled spirits are whiskey, rum, tequila, brandy, and all that kind of stuff. Then what is? Go ahead, do the other one. You said
I
ferment.
thought fermented alcohol might be a category of alcohol.
Right. Fermented alcohol is a beverage produced when microorganisms, typically yeast, convert natural sugars from
Yeah.
fruits, grains, and plants into ethanol or carbon dioxide. This anaerobic process creates beverages like beer and wine, and it's
Yeah.
typically about 5 to 15% alcohol by volume. So
Yeah.
we know beer, wine, and distilled liquors are what people drink. We know this, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wonder how many people sit and think about the differences between what fermented alcohol and distilled alcohol does to the human body versus, say, cannabis THC use specifically does to the human body. And then go, why is one of them Schedule 1 prohibited on the Controlled Substance Act?
Yeah.
That's
again,
the question that's hard to get. Let's do that. Why is it Schedule 1? Why is THC, because I know it is, Schedule 1 until it gets rescheduled? Marijuana is classified as a Schedule 1 drug under the 1970 Controlled Substance Act, CSA, because federal law defines it as having a high potential for abuse, no currently accepted medical use in the U.S., and a lack of accepted safety for use under medical supervision. So I understand that paragraph, but then I would ask, well, did you ever look at how long it's been used and asked if anyone's ever died from it? And have you tested it to see what the effects are? Like, people use alcohol all the time. Like, why isn't alcohol Schedule 1? You know what I mean? It's kind of a,
I would think, again, tradition, culture, especially European.
right, but that has,
culture.
okay, I hear you, but that has nothing to do with testing a chemical.
No. That's why alcohol is
Yeah.
prevalent.
So, okay, but why today in 2026 is marijuana a Schedule 1 chemical, I wonder?
Well, it's got to come back from, its history of this is your brain on drugs.
How
with the
long does
fried
that
egg
take,
in
you
it.
believe, I wonder?
Well, what are we at? About 23 states, 22, 23 states that have now legalized it.
Yep.
So it's well on the way, except for the Bible Belt will be the last ones.
Well, let's see. How many? Where is THC illegal? Let's just say that, because it doesn't matter where it's legal, right? Where is it illegal? Thinking.
And then from a religious point of view too, other than treat your body as a temple, I can't think of any particular scripture that says thou shalt not smoke
Well, why drink alcohol then if you're going to
the
treat your body like
devil's
a temple?
lettuce.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying because I mentioned the word Bible Belt.
Right, and I'm asking a question
connotations.
to, okay, if a person from the Bible Belt says, no, devil's lettuce, bad because your body's a temple, I would say,
Right.
well, what about alcohol? They probably go, yeah, alcohol too. Don't
It's the
do
same
that.
thing.
That's the same thing. I'll go, okay, what about sugar? That's made by
fact,
that's made by man.
what?
What about Coca-Cola? What about coffee, caffeine?
Yeah, I'm not saying it makes it. I'm just saying in the religious mind.
Well,
So
where does that
when I
idea
said
stop, though?
in South Carolina,
Mhm.
as you may know yourself,
Yep.
um, until recently, you couldn't buy a beer on Sunday. Those are religious
Right.
and societal norms under people that follow baptism or whatever the primary
Mhm.
religion is there. And so those are the states that have already implanted with that thought. And by the way, I think they do the same thing on alcohol. So in Texas, when one county said, was influenced, and they said you can't buy alcohol in this county. It's a dry county, as we called it in Texas. I don't know if they do the same there.
Right.
And then you turn around, you drive to the other county, and you got the General Lee, and you're sneaking your
Bootlegging.
your moonshine in the back of your trunk
Yeah.
while Smokey and the Bandit or whatever's chasing you. So yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as Sumter County. You can't buy beer on not today, but 3 years ago. You can't buy beer on Sunday. So now I have to go to whatever county Columbia is, and then to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
watch a
I get
drink a
that.
beer while
I
watching
get all
football.
that. Let me pose a question from 2026, or better yet, let me pose a question from 2020. Okay, we had strong internet. All human knowledge is basically on the internet with all kinds of misinformation. I get it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna ask you this question, I guess, because I'm asking it out loud. What is the reasoning for maintaining laws without reviewing them when you have the rapid information to review year to year to year? If you're a government, so hear that question. The question is if you're a government.
I think I tried to answer that earlier. And I think the government was concerned about criminal elements coming
No, that
in.
was. Yes, I agree. You answered for the was. I'm saying today okay, here the question. In 2020.
Yeah, I mean that today.
Yeah, in
South
2020,
Carolina.
with the way information is, it's not like it was in 1970s or the
Right.
20s or 30s. I could give them, hey, information travels slow in the 20s, even in the 70s, But in the 2020s, information does not travel slow. It travels at rapid speed, so fast that news outlets want to put out, I guess, fake news to be the first ones to say something. So information goes so fast, which means if you want to, and you want to learn about a thing, you can learn about it at a very rapid pace. That's what it
Sure.
means, right? So my question still remains, in 2020, if you're a
Yeah.
government, and if you have the benefit to you of all the tax money in the world and budgeting, and you really can't go, well, we can't pay the internet bill, so we can't do internet searches, and we can't research, and we can't. My question
Well-
would be,
I think I've got a couple answers.
okay, here's the question is, one, it's kind of layered, but the first question is laws on people. One, why would you maintain laws over time when you can just review them quicker now and make decisions that go, wait a minute, that doesn't apply because of, it doesn't matter if you put a donkey in a bathtub on Sunday in Georgia now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Some of those are funny, but I'm getting to some of the ones where we give excuses, I believe, to where we go, well, the science isn't in. No one's studied that. Well, we just don't know that statistical information yet. And I think those are cop-out answers when you literally have the ability every year to review everything and no one's really hurting for time. You just research, get your legal department, make changes every year, get rid of laws, add some new ones on, whatever. It seems like there's a thought process of no, we can't do that. This is how it's been.
Yeah.
And since it's been that way, we can't touch that idea. That's what it looks like to me.
It was. And when you go back to the donkey in the bathtub,
Mm-hmm.
how and why are laws made?
Mm-hmm.
Well, society makes the laws, or at least the local ordinances in some cases,
Yeah.
where they, as a group of people, they'll put up a bill, right?
Mhm.
Or some type of proposal, 15-62, legalize marijuana, and it'll go through the state,
Mhm.
and the state will vote on it.
Mhm.
And if the state doesn't believe that it wants that as part of their society, their
Mhm.
state society,
Mhm.
then they vote on it and say, no, we're not going to do it. And I don't know that they vote on whether it's level 1 or level 3.
Mhm.
I think they're just voting on, we're not going to legalize
Yeah.
marijuana.
So I wonder why, if you can do a quick search on your Google phone and come up with the past of information that tells why marijuana was made illegal, like in the top, they go straight to the racist word so if you can do that sitting at your desk right now, why isn't everyone going, wait a minute, we made these laws on racism and to
That's what it says.
yeah. So I'm
30s
saying
and-
if you can see that in a split second, just going, hey, why is this illegal? I gotta believe most every American who speaks English, who is of 18 or older, has a phone, could do the same thing.
So could you also believe that the same person who can read that just says morally, I don't think that that's right, and I'm not voting yes.
Okay, I would call that being willfully ignorant. Yeah, I believe someone could do that. Yeah, absolutely.
And so you get enough people that
Yeah.
say, this is not, no matter how small the drug is, because clearly by now everyone considers it a drug. They might not know if it's level 1 or level 3.
Oh yeah.
But they're just like, "Well, we don't want to be a state that allows that. We don't care about the money."
And I
Yes,
wonder why though.
I've heard.
Yeah, why? Why the devil's cabbage? What about that specifically? Are people say fearful, mad at, whatever? It doesn't kill people, allegedly, which you
Well,
read.
here's the better question, I think.
Yeah.
What are the main, should we use the word arguments or thought arguments? We'll say arguments for
I'm just wondering what the fear
voting
is. What is the fear
for
of it? If it's used as medicine for
not
thousands of years.
allowing the state to legalize marijuana. All right.
Let me take this down. I
Okay,
just realized this is still up.
all media AI, yeah. No, it's good up there. Arguments against legalizing marijuana often focus on public health risk.
Okay, what's the public health?
Society-
I need to be
Look-
educated on the public health
Right.
risk.
Well, it is. I'm just going to highlight the
I
different
see,
topics,
I
and then
see.
I'll go there.
Got it.
So, just in the opening,
Okay. So public
top,
health risk, got it.
societal safety, and potential for increased addiction rates.
Isn't that all three the same though? Addiction, safety, and public health. Isn't that all the same concept right there?
Well, they've got it broken down into three or four things. Actually, they got
all
it
right,
broken down into a whole bunch of things. So, leading to higher consumption rates and associated negative consequences. So that reminds me of a time. Doesn't apply here,
Okay.
but I was in the country of Yemen. You might have heard of it. The Houthis are trying to block the strait there. They at one time grew like great coffee and stuff up in the mountains, and the society now has like instead of their siesta is say like 1 to 3 o'clock, and they have a drug called khat, which is basically THC but not as strong as marijuana. So the whole society now choose that between 1 and 3 o'clock, and the farmer said, we make more money now off of the khat. So now we don't grow any food, we don't grow any coffee, all the things that we used to grow, because we make so much money on the drugs. So I don't know that the U.S. is really concerned about that, though.
About Yemen and their lack of coffee production.
Yeah, that the whole country now,
Yeah.
as a culture,
Yeah.
Consumes so much of the drug that they've lost everything else.
Yeah.
Public health opponents point out marijuana is addictive. Data suggesting about 10% of users become addicted, a rate that increases among adolescents. I don't know where they got this 10%.
10% of all users become addicted, is what it's saying?
Says 10% of users become addicted.
What is the percentage of alcohol addiction, I wonder?
I don't know. We'd have to get through this, but I would
Mhm.
think it'd be higher than 10%.
I would think so. I would think marijuana
Um,
addiction, psychological dependency would be higher than 10%. I would think.
oh,
But I'm not a
yeah,
doctor.
because what? So yeah, if you're doing it marijuana, and I don't know this, someone smarter than me would have to answer that, but I don't know that there's like physical withdrawals from marijuana.
I've
You
never
ever
heard of
heard?
it.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Mental health. Marijuana is associated with a higher risk of developing psychotic disorders, including schizophrenia, particularly in individuals with genetic predispositions or those who start using at a young age.
Hmm. That brings up a great point. I hear this a lot on podcasts and whatnot. Again, I'm not a doctor, but apparently the prefrontal cortex kind of finishes forming in the human around like 25, I think, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently your prefrontal cortex can be impacted negatively by marijuana use, alcohol use, whatever,
Yeah.
and that sort of stuff. So if that's true, now I'm not saying it's true, but if that's true, then you would think the logical rule for society would be we don't want anyone below 25 using chemicals like that because we want citizens with prefrontal cortexes that are higher probability of not being damaged. So I could see that argument. I could see no weed, no alcohol until you're after 25 because science shows us that's when your brain kind of forms and maybe you can handle it better. But if you're younger, you keep hearing in the stats you're reading, especially in adolescence, and I'm assuming that's pre that 25, that prefrontal cortex forming. So I understand that argument. I'd get behind that argument. Yeah, I wouldn't like it if I was turning 21, but I could get behind that argument of logic of saying, yeah, we want our citizens' brains being as sharp as possible, so let's not use any chemicals until after this age, if that's the science.
Well, I'm pretty sure the drinking age in Germany is probably like 15 or 16, if I had to guess. Sweden or Norway.
Yeah.
And they seem to be an educated lot.
So see, it isn't a problem. So great. I think we can come to the realization in conversation that if you drink in moderation or if you smoke weed in moderation, you're probably, I'm not a doctor, you're probably not going to be, one, addicted, and two, all those negative ramifications, unless, like your research shows, you have genetic predisposition. If you have genetic predisposition to something, well, I don't know it's the chemical is the problem. It's probably your genetic predisposition. That's why they call it predisposition. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know how to weigh that in reality. I hear it. I think more of it is fear porn than anything. Because that seems to what has been done. Hey, fear porn with alcohol too during Prohibition, right?
Yeah,
like we snap right back from that one.
Yeah.
as a culture, it didn't take long to reverse that one.
Yeah, there was a good portion of the society that says now we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know which one of you people decided to control my life, but that's something that we're going to keep doing.
Yeah. Oh. Wow.
Uncertainty in testing and regulations.
Okay.
So I don't know that that's true anymore. Haven't we studied?
Well, if we know it causes schizophrenia, I gotta believe it's been studied. And if you can Google and there's no deaths reported or really from overdosing on it annually, then it's obviously been studied and tracked. So,
I just found the magic answer here.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
With money. Additionally, it is difficult for road pirates to reliably test for the levels of impairment for roadside tests compared to alcohol.
Road pirates? What are road pirates?
Highway patrol, police.
Oh my goodness! Hey, we support the men and women in blue on this channel. How dare you?
Unless
sir?
they're giving me a ticket.
Yeah, unless they're writing me a ticket, then fuck off. Yeah. No
Otherwise,
FOP
I'm-
dues this month.
Otherwise, I'm good. But every time it's the end of the month or whatever, and I see 80 cops on the highway pulling people over, I know it's time to.
You know,
I know it's more than public safety.
I heard something. I heard something one time. Check and see if this is true. Who were the top lobbyists for keeping marijuana illegal? Like the
don't know.
groups that lobbied Congress to maintain it keeping illegal. What groups are those?
I don't know. Hold that thought for a second. Just park it, and I'll briefly go over the last two.
Got it.
Economic and social cost. Opponents argue the tax revenues generated from marijuana sales are outweighed by the increased social cost of addiction treatment, public health emergency, workplace accidents, and criminal justice resources.
Mm.
Yeah, again, I don't know that. You know what, though? There's going to be a good study, right? If now 22 states allow it, eventually other states will say, you know what?
Mhm.
They got no issue and they're making a fortune. And, if it's those that are basing it off that, might change their mind. Gateway drug theory. Well, that's been around forever. First you smoke I do not sniff the coke. I only smoke Sinsemilla. That it's a gateway drug.
Okay.
You remember that song?
No. Say it
like a
again. What
reggae
was it?
song.
Sing it for the crew.
I do not smoke I do not sniff the coke. I only smoke Sinsemilla.
Okay.
Then you got to put a little reggae to the
Yeah.
back of it.
I got the imagination. Yeah.
I was gonna go to work, but then I got high. Yeah. What was your other one? Are you up, or you want me to look it up?
I'm kind of in the background while.
Okay. But you're gonna say who?
So yeah,
were the
what are
ones,
the? So obviously, for marijuana to be illegal, Congress has to, or actually, no, doesn't the DEA decide if it's prohibited or not? Congress gives the DEA the authority to run the Controlled Substance Act. I think that's how it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah,
I don't know.
so
I should know that, but I don't know that. It's something like that.
So probably something like the president would have to go to the DEA
Yeah.
and say, I want you to consider lowering this to a Schedule 1.
Mhm.
And then, given the political desire
Mhm.
to go from hypothetically a Schedule 3 to a Schedule 1, then they'll look at it and then they'll use AI and science studies and all that stuff and say, you're right, we allow marijuana, and marijuana, there's no overdoses.
Right.
They're stimulating the economy by Taco Bell, eating at Taco Bell,
Mhm.
getting their fourth meals in, and they're laughing too much. Gosh darn it. But
These people are happy. We can't have that. Crush
Even
their
more
happiness.
like that.
Put that boot back on their neck. There will be.
but I don't think that the real answer is going to be until states can come out and say, like, we raised $50 billion.
I thought it was about the people casting a vote, saying what they wanted in society. I thought we said that earlier. Isn't that what's about? It's not about a government deciding things. It's about the people casting votes and saying we want this, right?
Yeah.
Or don't want it. So where is the vote? Where's the national vote to make it legal or illegal? That should be put to a
Yeah.
vote.
I think they're waiting to see what happens in the states.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Why not put it on the federal election? Let the whole nation say. Why? Well, then we're the independent
Maybe
states of
that's
America. Then then we're the.
Maybe that's it. Well, we are.
I
Each
guess
states
we
have
are.
their rights.
Well, then why is there a federal
should be
prohibition?
trampling all over?
Yeah. Why is there?
over states' rights.
Steve, answer these questions. Why is there?
Yeah.
I'm yellow journalism, meaning you.
So I think if we look at the pattern of the world, I would certainly say that there is a strong push to get it to the federal level. I don't know what material you've had the opportunity to read, but if I have my tea leaves, I'm saying we're moving that way, and eventually there might be a vote in Congress or something like that. So obviously the people don't get to vote, but a senator or Congress will come together and as representatives of those states and vote
I
And
certainly hope they do research.
if they listen to their constituents,
Mhm.
then they may go ahead and do it at a federal level.
They can
So I
listen.
think maybe the first step in that, though, is probably to change the status of it so that they don't have to do it by like we legalize all status 3 or whatever
Right.
that category is and get it to a category that everyone's
Man,
happy
they
with.
come out with a GLPT-1 every other week for people to take to lose weight. So what takes so long to determine a Schedule 1 to a different schedule or off the schedule for, say, THC? If a pharmaceutical
well,
pill can come out
I don't
like
know.
all the time fast, how come it takes? Because if you'll go back and look in time, now I'm going to use my memory machine. I think it was either California or Colorado. Maybe it was California was the first state to legalize around 94-ish, somewhere around there. Let's say 94, 95.
I can believe California would be the
Okay,
first. But
all right.
I think Alaska did it in the
Or maybe it was
70s.
Alaska. I don't know. Anyway, a state did it around 94, 95.
Right.
So
The
now,
one that stuck.
now count
Yeah.
the years forward now. Okay.
30,
Okay, 30 years.
32.
32. There you go. Let's just say 30 years. In that 30-year span, several other states started jumping on board with that idea. My question
Yeah.
is when a pharmaceutical company makes a pill or a shot, it comes out like boom. And it's talked about. Boom, boom. Take this GLPT-1. Take this for antipsychotics. Take this for that. Take this for. They even say, ask your doctor if this is right for you. Wouldn't you think the doctor would review you and go, you know what's right for you? There's this thing out there called, like, it's like the consumer has to go sell the drug to the doctor from the commercial idea. So if all that plays out that way, why does it take so long for a natural plant that's been used for tens of thousands of years, that was made illegal in the United States in the 30s to the 70s and reinforced in the 70s, and I will argue probably hit harder in the 80s for sure, like war on drugs type thing, right?
Maybe they're thinking, where do you stop? What's next? And cocaine? What's next after that?
Maybe. I don't know. But I'm not sure you can Google that cocaine's been used for thousands and thousands of years in all cultures and grown for all kinds of reasons. Cocaine is one thing. It's a stimulant. It's a drug. People snort it or freebase it or inject it somehow, and then you get that heart going. You a party drug, right? Yeah, I get it. People like to do that. I don't think that should be illegal. Not for kids. Kids shouldn't do that. But if an adult's gonna just inject themselves with something, now if they go and then commit a crime, we should punish that behavior. That's what we should do. If you get high and you go crash your car into a family of 6 and kill them, well, that behavior gets punished as if you weren't high. That's my argument.
I think that's equal to what's there now. If you crash a car and kill someone and they find 0.1 or whatever the magic is, 0.08, 0.1, I think there's different between the states.
Yeah.
And you kill 6 people, then there's severe penalties. I imagine.
But you don't tax the alcohol.
Killed 6 people, and then they took your blood, and you had marijuana in your system. Somehow, tests could prove that you were high at that time.
That'd be an interesting test. Yeah.
Then you could be. So I don't know what the science is behind the
okay.
testing.
But the point is the behavior of a crime, not the using of a chemical.
Yeah. Yeah, whether it's alcohol or weed.
Right. Let a human use a chemical, however, as long as they're set that legal age, set that 18, 21, 25, whatever it's going to be. Set that. And then go, okay, you're responsible humans. You can vote. We trust you to vote and dictate how the country is. We trust you to drink, snort your cocaine, whatever you're going to do, and not harm society. Because it happens. People do it anyway, and they don't harm society. That's the truth. And I'm not saying, oh, Jimmy, well, if they do crime anyway, then we should let them do it. No, I'm not saying that. Again, I'm saying that if someone wants to do something inside their body, I've heard this. This is where the dichotomy of thought is. I've heard my whole life, my body, my choice. I've heard that my whole life. Like, my body, my choice, my body, my choice. And I agree with that. Your body, your choice. Absolutely.
I don't think it's meant for you, though.
So it's not meant for me with chemicals. It's meant for other people with other things.
It's not meant for you as a male.
Okay, well, say for a female. My body, my choice. Okay, you should be able to use whatever you want in your body too. If you get, I hear the joke and everything, but isn't that a dichotomy of thought?
It's not even so much of a joke. It's that actual movement. I think is more aligned to the females, but
But everyone's okay with that. My body, my choice. Why isn't everyone okay with my body, my choice? I like to smoke weed. My body, my choice. I like to shoot heroin. My body, my choice. I like to do this.
Take this COVID drug and you'll like it.
I know what a side is gonna say. A side is gonna say because that leads to criminality and health problems, and this. So does alcohol.
I'm never gonna put this seatbelt on.
Yeah.
My body, my choice. You will put that seatbelt on, or you will get $100 fine every time we catch you.
There it is. See, and that saves lives, sir.
Now give me your $100.
Oh me, oh my. Well, I know who's not going to like the fact if marijuana goes off if it went off the CSA. I would argue the DEA wouldn't like that.
You think for funding purposes?
Well, I don't know what the stats are. I don't know I don't even know how that's going now at all. You know what I mean? I assume people are still getting arrested for possession. I assume in this nation somewhere. You know what I mean?
For large intent to distribute, I imagine.
Perhaps. I don't know. Not a lawyer, but maybe. I'm not a law enforcement officer. I don't know.
They'll do that too for the black marketers. So if Charlotte, North Carolina, I don't know if that's one of the states. I'm just throwing that out there. Says that we're going to legalize marijuana, and we're going to have. It's going to be controlled. It's going to be taxed. It's going to be oversight of the government. And then, a shipment comes in. Again, that's $20 instead of the hypothetical $50 at the store. The DEA is still going to have a job busting those people, I think.
I guess, yeah.
But they'll be focused on the harder crimes that are probably causing.
Well, I have to go back to the stats. I mean, I guess you'd have to show me a stat that shows me, no, Jimmy, when people use marijuana, they commit more crime. They harm more people outside of themselves. If I saw that, then I'd be like, you know what? You need to curtail that. You need to curtail that activity and that behavior. And I guess the way you're going to have to do it is through eradication, because this will be easy. Just eradicate the cannabis plant.
I'll tell you what I think is from the negative societal aspects. Is again, I go back to, say, Colorado when the businesses were complaining because a lot of I don't want to use the word homeless, without housing. What's the new word for that? Homeless. There's a new kind of word for that, but unhoused, the unhoused. But they were affecting their business because they were just hanging out on the street. And so if marijuana, for some reason, is proven to give you less ambition to do something, you might increase loitering. I don't know about theft as much. Maybe some small-time theft on the street so you could pay for said marijuana.
Okay.
I don't see anyone killing people over marijuana because it's not going to be like heroin. what I imagine a heroin need is. You know, I gotta kill somebody for this, or
Okay.
I saw that movie Less Than Zero.
Yeah, I know. And if it was done in Hollywood, or if the news says it, it is true, sir.
So
Steve, I have some
I
info for
suspect-
you to consider. Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
All right. So listen to this. So you brought up homeless a couple of times, or unhoused, or whatever the hell. I say homeless. Guess because
Yeah,
everyone
I
else
say
says
homeless
homeless.
too.
Yeah. You brought up that as a factor contributing to the negative side with the use of, say, marijuana. You've brought that up a couple of times tonight,
Yeah.
like twice. So listen to this statistic. According to the 2024 Department of Housing and or Urbanization Development HUD data, there's over 771,480 people were experiencing homelessness on a single night in America. That represents an 18% increase from 2023. And the highest number recorded since reporting began in 2007. All right. So remember how that's defined. People experiencing homelessness on even a single night of homelessness in America, and that's 771,480. And it says over. So let's overestimate. Let's say it was 850,000. Okay? Is that fair? Or is that not
Sure.
fair?
Or a million if you want to.
Okay, let's call it a
easier to
million.
count.
Let's call it a million. Now, in 2024, an estimated 64.2 million age 12 or older in the United States used marijuana in the past year, representing roughly 22.3% of that population. This indicates a significant increase, with approximately 44.3 million Americans using marijuana monthly as the industry continues to expand following widespread legalization trends. So, if you were to compare 1 million to 64 million data set, I think you would argue, well, wait a minute, this has nothing to do with homelessness. An order of 60 times more use it in America outside of the overestimated homelessness number. So, do you see that? Do you see
Now,
that?
let me do another correlation with you.
Yeah.
How many people are graduating high school in 2025 that have a 6th grade reading level?
And that's correlated to what? Marijuana use?
Yeah,
Is it?
they were going to
did that
do their homework.
You did that
But then
study?
they got high.
Oh, I thought you were getting ready to lay some science on me, man. I thought you were just doing? I thought you were just doing, oh yeah, he's not going to show me up like this. Watch this.
No. I just wanted to.
Yeah. But what do you think of
another
that?
song.
What, think about
Oh,
that.
but really, would you say?
Okay.
Yes, I would say that people in better neighborhoods probably perform better in public school than poorer neighborhoods.
I don't know. I guess. Yeah.
I think there's studies for sure on
I
that.
think it's
And then,
individual based. I really
and
do.
which ones are doing the most drugs, and why are we at a 6th grade reading comprehension by the time we finish 12th grade? Not every student, but
Yeah.
I
call that teaching failure.
we are desperately falling behind. And I wonder if it's the marijuana.
You know, it could be, and that could be a negative effect. Again, show that in a study. That would be easy to do if you studied that. Just like it's easy to do to count 64.2 million people age 12 and older use marijuana in the past year, and to come up with the number of 44.3 million Americans use marijuana monthly. If that is true, then 1 million homeless people have nothing to do with marijuana concepts.
It's a gateway drug.
It's a gateway. I love that one. That's a good one. What's a gateway drug? What does that do? It opens a gateway?
It starts with the marijuana, then it leads to the cocaine, then the heroin.
And before you know it, you're trading, you're on the street. You're
shooting up with your free needles from the government.
Giving hand jobs to pay for it.
At least. See, now this is what I'm saying. This goes back to that. What's the worst someone on marijuana is going to do? How bad is their addiction?
Probably
Maybe just
gonna eat
just
pizza.
a hand job. Now
See-
the guy's on cocaine and heroin.
Oh,
That's a whole different.
there's some
story.
butt stuff going on for sure. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
So that's why I'm not worried about marijuana.
Okay.
So I really don't care.
Yeah.
Um, as much as other people probably would. I don't know that it's going to,
Yeah.
with the government oversight and taxing the crap out of it, and our fine law enforcement making sure those that are trying to sell it without the state getting its money
Mhm.
are going to crack down on that. And I would like to know too, though, the difference between, say, smoking a joint. Does
Mhm.
one person smoke one joint, or do they share it and just smoke a half a joint? I don't know how much of the, especially because it costs more. Is the whole joint consumed, or just a half a joint and you save the, what's it called, the blunt?
I
or
would
bunt?
say that's individual preference because, like you just
Um,
said, blunts are different sizes too, right?
I was thinking that was just half of a cigarette, a marijuana cigarette. But so if you smoke half, does that really affect your driving?
I would argue if you're going to smoke weed, you shouldn't be driving.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Granted, abstinence is best.
And I mean
But
that I mean that like drinking alcohol. If you smoke, say you smoke a joint, right? You sit in your house, you smoke a joint. You probably
Right.
shouldn't drive until tomorrow morning.
Right.
Yeah.
I got that, and I
Yeah.
don't think legally you can. But how
Not a
many
lawyer, kids.
But yeah. How many how many people who say smoke a half a joint
Mhm.
and then go drive somewhere, how badly are they affected? I'd like to know that. I don't know.
My
Again,
my
I'm
opinion.
not promoting
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So my
Curious.
opinion is probably not much. Just like probably there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people who are technically drunk driving at any one time on the roads in the United States. Across the United States, on a weekend, there's probably hundreds of thousands of people drunk driving across the United States at any one time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Or not at any one time, but throughout a 24-hour period, something like that, right? So
yeah, so I think they're trying, now put out some guidance.
yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is, 2 an hour, depending on your way, 1 hour. But you don't want to be there 5 hours. I got that. Is there anything coming out from the federal government or state government, because it's not federalized, that
Okay.
says don't smoke and drive more than
I
a
think they're
half
coming out
or
with
something like that?
tests that they can issue on the scene to tell if you have THC in your system. Now, again, I'm not a scientist, but I do have some experience with the scientific side of this, of how they
Yeah.
test THC in a body to hold someone legally accountable for if
So
they used or
my
not.
assumption is you draw blood, then it runs through a machine, and they say, this is how much you have in your system. So
So-
if you smoked it 30 days ago and it's 0.001,
Yeah.
they don't care. But if you're at 0.3, hypothetically,
But that's
I
for,
don't think there's
that's for
any
having it in
regulation
your
on it.
system, not that you're under the influence of it. And that's where it's going to
Yeah.
get iffy with the THC, because I've seen scientists show me data where THC could stay residual in your fat cells in your body, detectable, up to 30 plus days. I'm not saying
Yeah.
30, 31, but 30 plus days. And
Yeah.
it can
I've
be
heard that.
out of your system as soon as 72 hours, especially when people, I've heard stories, don't take my word for this, use products that are out there and have a rhythm
I've
for
heard there's
cleansing their
products
system.
that
Yeah.
flush it out.
Right. So the problem I would have is trying.
That's why I just asked my
The problem I would have.
nearest relative to piss in a jar for me.
There you
"Oh, you're
go.
pregnant."
The problem I would have is people trying to shove two thoughts in their head at the same time. Drunk driving intoxication means this, ergo intoxicated by THC is equal and means this, and they can test it right then and there. So in other words, what if there's a test and they can test residual and you did smoke a joint 20 days ago, but you're not intoxicated, but the state law allows for probable cause, we're arresting you.
Yeah.
That's driving under the influence or whatever. So
And
that
that's
could
a
get
good
iffy.
point too, is I am trying to find something to equivalate it to. And so it's easy to equivalate with
Look at the
with,
half-life.
with alcohol, right? Because you can see if you have 0.1 or
Yeah.
0.08 or whatever in the blood system. And again, it references to arguments against why, as it's difficult to, get a level to say that you are or are not under the influence when you drive, unless you self-admit it.
Mhm.
You've been doing anything wrong tonight? Well, I did smoke.
So the half-life is from 1 to 10 days, depending on frequency of use, body fat, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean it's affecting you for 5 days.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Terminal half-life, too. That's the time required for the plasma concentration of a drug to decrease by 50% during the final, slowest elimination phase, typically representing drug elimination from deep tissue rather than just blood. That's what terminal half-life is when we're talking about this.
So I think you should look at the positives for it too.
Well, what are
Besides,
they?
it makes you go schizophrenic. I've heard that it helps people with, say, PTSD, that it medically, maybe even. I've heard it's got some
Mhm.
cancer benefits.
Heard that too.
So there's good arguments for if the big fear is it's going to cause crime and death on the highway, which I don't think any statistic has really come up with that, then I just got to believe it's a morality thing.
Yeah.
And the people of the great state of South Carolina, for example, are just not ready to take that on. Now, the government might see how much they're losing and say, "I don't care what you guys think. We're gonna grow some weed here and sell it on Sunday."
Yeah.
But
go ahead. Sorry.
no, yeah, that was it. My whole thing is probably a stigma, from the 1930s on,
Mm-hmm.
war on drugs in the 70s.
Yep.
Here's your brains on drugs, and maybe early 80s, things like that, those commercials. And so I'm sure there's, especially certain regions, certain states are just going to be like, we don't care if it's healthy, we don't care if it's this. They'll probably be okay with medical, like, oh, you're actually sick and you found some way to do this and it's for medical purposes. We're okay with that, but we're not okay for it recreationally. Although what you say is equally important is the why. Why can I drink a case of beer and drive my car off a cliff and that's okay? But I can't do that. But, and how do you cut back on that? You go to the grocery store and then the most you can buy is 2 beers. That's your legal limit. I don't know what, if you go to a shop. Yeah, right. So there's laws about it now, right? So anything above X amount is considered distribution. So I can't go into the state marijuana store and say, buy a pound. I don't believe I can.
I think you can get up to so many ounces at one time. Yeah.
Because at that point, then I'm going to get arrested for distribution. So is the answer then, well, if you're not going to do that, then the most you can buy from the grocery store is 2 beers, because we need to protect you from being out on the road.
That's right. We need to protect you from giving it to children.
Or children.
We got to think about the children, except for their 6th grade reading at graduation and the drugs we put them on and all that stuff and the porn we show them constantly on the internet and all those things. We don't give a fuck about the children when it comes to all that capitalism.
Yeah.
It's only the weed and the alcohol.
So that's why I think too, if these states show like California, and I'm not picking on them, I'm just mentioning like Colorado because I used to live there, New York now, Massachusetts, those are 4 states I can think of. If they're showing, look how much money we're making on these taxes, and we're using that in the other part, then we're using that money for something good,
Mm-hmm.
then I think
Get those kids to read past 6th grade, man.
then those other states, you can't believe how much money we spend on that compared to other countries
You,
that are in first place, and we're like in
well, you can't
52nd
spend money
place.
you can't spend money and then someone's educated. You can spend a price for tuition to an institution where a person gets educated, but you can't just throw dollar bills and education materializes. I mean, you
we
know
will
this.
throw money at everything.
Yes, you will, sir. You will pay for this. You will pay for this until we have A's. That's easy.
We are not yet at $40 trillion in debt.
That's easy. Just lower the standards.
We got 2 more trillion we can waste
Are we
before it becomes serious.
before it becomes serious? Hey, what about the aliens? Aren't the aliens supposed to be here like this month? Something like that?
I haven't been tracking any alien talk.
Really? It must be just me. It must be my feeds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get lots of alien shit in my feeds.
I am going to Ohio this weekend.
Ohio?
Oh, yeah. So Friday, I will probably be on the road. I don't know if I'll
Oh,
arrive yet.
kids, we're going to have to put another episode off. Oh, no.
Or we will probably do it maybe in a hotel room. I can bring my laptop.
Hey, as long as the quality's good and it's not breaking up internet, I don't see a problem. If you got the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I will.
What are you
I
doing in
just got to
Ohio?
get there in time. There's a place called the Bel Air House, allegedly haunted. So I'm going to go
All right.
go explore there. And we got some new equipment that we're going to try.
Let's do a
So-
podcast that night after you get done and let's talk about it.
Well, I might be preoccupied with the people I'm doing it with. But,
Oh. Okay. I thought you'd be in a hotel room or something.
actually, I'm spending. That's just Friday night.
Okay.
Saturday night is my investigation, and then I'm staying in the hotel. I mean the house overnight.
Tell everyone what you do in an investigation.
So for me, I'm just going to do something simple and take a digital recorder
Mhm.
and ask some questions and see if there's a voice that responds intelligently to the questions that I ask.
Okay.
So I'll record it and I'll put it into a speaker and I'll play it back and I'll listen out loud to see if there's anything that pipes in and joins in the conversation.
I guess we had told everyone it's a paranormal investigation, not like a criminal investigation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The
Good.
the deaths there have already happened. And then some other people have some new equipment that uses the atmosphere and stuff like that to produce words and
Oh, that's cool.
things like that. So other people are going to have different techniques. One of the guys going has a TV show out of Canada, and he just got called and said, "You got to film this weekend." So he's not going to be able to go. He has to go back for the filming. But
Interesting.
yeah, it should be fun. I've heard good things about this house as far as activity.
You know, it'd be cool is if you did get some evidence of any sort, voice, anything like that. Let's later on when you're done and you get time, let's do an episode. We'll just do an ad hoc episode and you play it so everyone can hear it. That'd be cool.
I could probably do it the next day.
Okay.
I can't interfere with everyone else's
Right. Right.
experiments. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I'll definitely have, especially since I'm just using a recorder and just asking questions and seeing if something responds.
Okay.
And I just hold up the micro or the speaker to the microphone here, and you can hear possibly any responses that may or may not come.
Well, one day we're going to have people in the chat and we're going to have a lot of people listening. So you're going to have to do a good plug for yourself doing these investigations. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
people want to buy your merch or something. I don't know.
I might even have to plug them to join me on tours in Niagara Falls now.
Oh, yeah. Steve, the tour guide Steve.
Yeah.
Got a
I'm
new
gonna get a little-
podcast.
I'm going to get a little ranger hat,
Oh,
brown shorts.
that is precious. That's
Then
your new
I'll see
outfit
if
for
I
the
get-
show.
I'm going to get see if I get busted by the national park for impersonating a forest ranger.
Hey, be careful. A lot of people go missing at these national parks I hear about.
Well, yeah. If
There's documentaries about it, dude.
hopefully if I have a group of 20 people and I'm walking them through, no one's going to fall off the ledge into the water.
Yeah. It's the
Yeah.
underground
But-
aliens. I think they're abducting them, taking them
Yeah, well,
underground.
They certainly have some caves that have
Yeah.
allegedly been supernatural there and stuff like that.
Cave
But it's an
dwellers.
amazing place. Well, I'll have to talk about it sometime. I'll
Cool.
just talk about, what you can do and see in the Niagara Buffalo area.
That'll be interesting. I think that'll be fun. Hearing history. You're gonna have to give us the history of Niagara and everything.
See if I pass the test first.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to plug?
No, I think to summarize your whole thought of that, I would say that marijuana is very likely less dangerous than alcohol.
You think so?
So, yeah, I believe so. And I know it's got cancer. Like, I think if you smoke marijuana significantly,
Mhm.
you could possibly get lung cancer or something like that.
Mhm.
As far as the psychosis and stuff, I think it would have to be an awful lot.
I've met a
And
few.
again,
I've met a few.
and maybe not at 12 years, again, not a proponent of a 12-year-old doing it.
No.
But I think if I look at it, I think the United States is recognizing it, and they're going to move that way. And once so many states does it, and
Mhm.
and DEA changes it from whatever a Schedule to a Schedule 1, which I assume is not considered that harmful.
No.
And,
Taking it off Schedule 1, and I think the talk is moving it to 3.
Oh, so the higher the
Yeah. So 1 is no recognized medical use, high potential for abuse, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, yeah.
So every time I said the number 1, if the crowd could just think number 5, I appreciate that.
Reverse everything I said for an hour. Yeah.
All right, man. You have a great night.
All right. And with that, we are going to close the show out. Thanks, everybody, for watching us in the future. What?
I'm saying like and join.
That's right. Like and subscribe us and
Hit
look
the
for,
bell.
Yeah,
Bing.
look for more T-Bar concepts in the future with paywall. We're going to have our what am I trying to say? Our Patreon account, our merch store. We're going to set all that up in the future, but we need people to come and listen to us. Anyhow, thanks for watching us in the future, and we want you to like, subscribe, follow us.
Adios, amigos.
Oh, there it is.
Lord have mercy. Y'all ain't right.